Norwegian companies dominate the tourism industry here in Svalbard, a remote Norwegian archipelago approximately 600 kilometers north of the mainland. One company, Brim Explorer, is at the cutting edge, using hybrid electric engines for some of its vessels, among the first in the world to do so for tourism at sea. But Russia has also got its eyes set on the island's tourism industry. Because of Svalbard's unusual legal framework, countries other than Norway that are signatories to the century-old Svalbard Treaty are allowed to carry out economic activity here. Russia announced in April it would be sending its own boat, carrying tourists to the island. Asked how it could affect their business, Agnes Arnadottir, CEO of Brim Explorer, said,
"I don't think it will affect us, but of course I understand that the Russian settlements want to keep up their activity on the tourism side. Geopolitically, it's important to maintain activity in Svalbard."
Norway's presence in Svalbard means it could potentially deny Russia's northern fleet access to the Atlantic in the event of a conflict. For that reason, analysts say, Russia maintains a presence on the island, which it's entitled to, primarily in the form of Barentsburg, a town of some 400 mostly Russian and Ukrainian people. Most military activity on Svalbard is banned under the treaty, but analysts say Russia is adopting a so-called hybrid approach to growing its influence here. That means gradually developing legitimate activities like research, industry and tourism, and increasing its maritime presence, ultimately for strategic aims. One academic says some have noticed a recent ramping up of Russia's rhetoric around Svalbard too.
Well, first of all, there have been these declarations, an official Russian declarations, which have been very critical on Norway, alleging that Norway is militarizing the islands, running NATO's errand, and so on. Quite strong wording, which is, of course, interpreted by people in it as a very hostile.
John Fitcher-Hoffman, an assistant to the governor of Svalbard, a member of Norway's police security service, told VOA there are frequent minor infringements of regulations by Russians on the island, including misuse of helicopters, which should only be used to assist mining, and
the driving around with the vehicles in Barentsburg with Russian number plates instead of the Norwegian official number plates that they are supposed to have.
In May of 2023, inhabitants of Barentsburg organised a Russian Victory Day procession, which many locals here say had militaristic overtones. This year, Svalbard's governor said celebrations were significantly more subdued, after last year's caught global media attention.
Whether this is because they've figured that out themselves, or if somebody has from Moscow said that it's better to have a more modest celebration, we don't know.
The Russian special consul in Barentsburg, who, according to a 2023 investigation by the Norwegian broadcaster NRK, is an operative for Russian military intelligence, declined a request for interview. With Russia working to grow its influence across the Arctic, and its bases in the region now outnumbering NATO's 3-1, its proposed tourist boat to Svalbard is likely just the tip of the iceberg. Henry Wilkins, VOA News, Longyearbyen, Norway.